sub, you so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. Co-pilot on the passenger side, you so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. She give me a bit of her love. Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to another one, man. This is your boy Ra1, and this is Spark-N-Conversation special segment we call Convo Corner, where I and me and my co-host Gloria Peoples, we chop it up with some of the world's just, I like to call it the innovators, right? I like to call it the people who went way past the thought process of what they could be. They actually took those extra steps to be that. And there's a lot of people who aspire to be in the position that these people are in. And a lot of times, we have in this entertainment business or in any business that you guys are in, when it comes down to your vision and your dreams and the things that are inside of you, remember, all our lives we've been told that we were supposed to be something for other people. Very seldom did most of us grow up with that whole urge or that vision of just being yourself, right? Or having people to motivate you to be do the things that are inside of you. And very so often, a lot of us, we don't get to our goals because of that. But on Convo Corner, we understand that there's a lot of people who make it through their diversity, right? We like to say triumph through trauma. And all the people that are successful have some sort of road that they had to go through, y'all, that was some type of trauma. And some people are still dealing with it today, and they're still able to activate and just be in that high level, in that high energy. So today we have a great guest, keeping up with the theme of producers and actors and this whole thing, man. I love that this energy is coming back from us where, not only did I have people on here that's in the acting role, that's in the front, we have people who have been in both situations where it's in the back with the production side. And now we have somebody based on the production side and the acting side and the actual coaching side as well, too. So, I like to say that any of y'all that are watching Convo Corner, you're getting a lot of information and you're getting a lot of knowledge. And most of all, they're so transparent in their journey to becoming who they are. So before we get into bringing Carl Gilliard up, let me bring my co-host up, Miss Gloria Peoples, so we can find out how she's doing today. What up, Gloria?
What up, Ron? How are you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm good. And I'm glad to have you as always.
Thank you.
Yeah. So listen, we understand that, Carl, you're the reason that Carl Gilliard is on the program today. So tell us a little something about him from your perspective.
Well, I met Carl a couple of years ago through a friend of mine, Tommy Morgan Jr., which you know, and he's a friend of Carl's. And I went to an event in LA. They were celebrating a film that he had just produced. And that's where I met Carl. And Carl, ever since then, he continues to be a mover and a shaker, and he's constantly doing things. He's rocking and rolling. I'm so excited we have him on the show today.
Yeah, definitely. Me too, because, I've been following him ever since, I connected the dots with him and my boy, Mike Anderson. And yeah, man, I just love the fact that not only is the brother in front of the camera, but he helps those people that are trying to pursue their vision of being in front of the camera, right? Which a lot of people, there are very few people in this industry that could honestly say that they have raw talent. And then there's those who have to be refined. And, the fact that he takes his time out to help refine new talent is amazing as well, too, because he could only just focus on himself, right?
Exactly.
So I think that's a major key when it comes down to Mr. Carl Gilliard. So look, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the brother up and let's get into his world real quick.
Let's do it.
Brother Carl, what's going on, man?
Hey, Ra, what's up, bro?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm glad to have you on the program this evening, brother.
Good to be here, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Gloria.
Hello, Carl.
Long time since Inglewood.
I know, right? Yes.
Yeah. And so, look, Carl, let's do this, man. Let's talk a little bit about, because I don't think there are people that are movers and shakers in the industry that know who you are, right? And
I think that there's a bunch of people who want to be in a position of being in the front who don't really do the research on those who actually connect the dots in the background. So if you don't mind, can we tell the audience a little bit about your journey into becoming who you are in the business? Because you do a lot.
I do a lot because I enjoy what I do. It's kind of like a circular statement.
Mm.
But ever since I was a small child, little boy, I've loved media, loved films and television, and grew up not in the business, but watching it and being interested, highly interested, almost unusually interested. I was the kind of kid that would pick up the newspaper when I could barely read and jet right over to the entertainment section and see what movies were coming out, see what plays were coming to town, that kind of thing. And it just kind of morphed through a lot of serendipitous moments, I should say, that I didn't see coming because I didn't really plan to be in the business. I just kind of got drawn in by a series of circumstances. I was raised in Chicago, moved to Detroit. I was about 12, 13 years old and was just a normal kid, playing baseball in the streets, chasing little girls around the block, that kind of thing. And around 1975, this is kind of an abridged version. Around 1975, I went to see a movie called Cooley High. And when I saw Cooley High, I was in the movie theater and I saw Glenn Turman. I thought to myself, Glenn Turman looks a lot like me. Literally, I didn't say that in those terms, but watching the movie, I recognized him as somebody who was accessible, and that was the first time I thought in my mind that it was possible. But it wasn't until many years later, after going to Michigan State, where I wasn't majoring in drama. I didn't major in theater or drama in college. I was majoring in something else, but I started doing theater in college. It just kind of brought me full circle to eventually moving to LA in the mid 80s and getting involved in theater there. And that just turned into other things. I was, doing theater in LA, then it turned into, television, it turned into TV commercials. And, I don't really know how it happened. I just know that, as I mentioned, as a little boy, I had this thing in my spirit. So even when I go talk to kids, and I'm getting a little off subject, but I talk to kids a lot in the schools and even in Bill Duke's camp. And I ask them, pay attention to pay attention to what God has put in you. What do you love to do? Because 9 times out of 10, whatever you love to do, like if you love food, you might want to be a chef, you might want to own a restaurant, that kind of thing. So from a very, very young age, I would sit in the movie theaters just amazed at movies. Amazed, and not just watching actors, just the whole process. The way the film looked, the music. When I was a kid, I was strange, man. Like I had the Mary Poppins soundtrack. I had, the soundtrack to Thunderball, the James Bond movie. I had the soundtrack. I would play it on my little record player and imagine me being in the movie.
Wow.
I mean, I was 7 or 8. So, I mean, I don't know if I answered your question, but, that's pretty much it. And so now you know what I'm doing now. I coach actors. I have an acting class. I produce. I do a lot of consulting on other motion pictures. I help put people together. When people are missing holes in their production, they need an actor, they need a director, they need something. I'm pretty helpful in bringing people to other projects that they would not have known about had it not been for me. So that's really where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but no, I resonate with what you're saying because what I'm finding out is as I continue to do this platform is that for those of us that are creative, a lot of times we just follow that thing that was in us, right? It's like a little voice that says, yeah, try that or do that.
Right.
In other words, where other people would think that, no, I'm not doing that. That's corny or that's not
right.
exciting or this is not that. And it's like, no, this is just what I feel. And I think that's where a lot of us lose our identity in because we're not allowed to do that one thing that seems like it's the hardest thing for most people to do, and it's just be themselves, because whatever is in you is who you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that, unfortunately growing up, are the adults around outside of us and when we're youth, they try to mold us in what they think is best for us.
Mm-hmm.
Very seldom do they hone in on the things that make us great. Like, do they pay attention to their kids enough to understand, find out what makes them great? Or do they just put them in situations where they got them a babysitter for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you have organized sports that most of us grew up doing, because that was one of the simplest ways and easiest ways for us to be somewhere
Right.
where your parents had a break, versus them saying, hey, let me put you in somewhere. Like, I see how you like to act, or I see how you like to dress up and you play characters. Let me see if I can put you in drama or in theater over here.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't it. A lot of recreational sports was offered in the school, so parents didn't have to necessarily pay for that extra,
Right. Mm-hmm.
getting you out the way type thing. So let me ask you this: in the knowing that movies or certain movies and actors inspired you, of saying that, yo, I can do this. At what point did you feel like you can do it yourself? Because for most people, they try to follow that path of the person that inspired them, going to get an agent, going to, doing that thing. Let me go audition. Let me pack up all my clothes and move to California. But where did you find that passion to say, I could do it this way and do it on my own?
Doing it on my own, meaning
producing, because
yeah. So that was another whole thing. So basically, good point about the producing. So that became a part of my evolution as I began to meet people who were producing and people who were kind of enlightened about what the industry is, and it's not just about acting. And I think the primary person that did that was Bill Duke. I met Bill 1993 or 94 when he produced me in a showcase. It was like a showcase of plays that he produced, and that he directed. That's when I first met him. And then flash forward some years later, he had a boot camp in LA. It's called the Bill Duke Actors Boot Camp, 1997. And in that class, he pushed heavily to produce your own content, build your own tribe, engulf yourself and help other people complete their projects. And then just build that. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's what I did. I produced my first film in 1999. It was on the film festival circuit. It won the Pan African Film Festival Audience Award in 2000. I went on to direct and produce other pieces with a partner of mine who I still work with. His name is Tony Winters, one of my best friends. So Bill is the one who instilled that in me. And I have to say, even though I still enjoy acting, I really enjoy producing. And I'm a really good director, if I say so humbly, but I don't direct often because it just hasn't happened like that. I have directed some projects, but I love directing because I love actors. So I kind of live out my directing bug by teaching actors in classes here in Atlanta. I kind of live out that. That's kind of how I get that out of the way, but I hope to direct in the future.
Well, Carl, I want to ask you, since you transitioned from LA to Atlanta, I mean, that's a huge transition. So how are you feeling with that? And, because LA and Atlanta, Atlanta is like a small LA, but I'm like, since you transition, how do you like that transition?
I love it here. I am not acting as much as I would have liked to. I came here to maybe do more acting work here in the city on like network and like studio films that are shoot here. It hasn't really worked out that well yet. It will. But what has happened though is the expansion of my coaching business and consulting, and I have a really good group of people who are media people here in Atlanta who I'm working with to create and build new ideas and projects. Okay. And that part is really good. So that's feeding into my producing muscle a lot more. And I think that the acting is going to come back because it's going to happen. It has to. It will.
Gotcha. Well, I like that though, because the thing I noticed about the producing portion of it, believing in someone else's project, I think that's crucial too, because so many people are scared to present their work or their art to people that they seem successful for the fear of rejection.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay, I'll give an example real quickly. So I did an event here in Atlanta 2 days ago. I called it the Dozens. And what the Dozens is, it has nothing to do with the Dozens, although I incorporated the whole theme and branding.
Okay.
But it's showing short films and improv. It's a live kind of a thing. And I didn't know who would show up. I didn't know if anybody would show up. It was packed.
Wow.
Now, to your point, it could have gone the other direction. I put it out there and no one shows up, or a few people show up. But in this business, you have to be impervious to pain, impervious to rejection, believe in your ideas, and even when they don't go over that well, keep going. You mentioned, so you alluded to it earlier, Rob. When you get rejected, you just can't give up. And I have like an indomitable spirit. I'm resilient. You tell me no, okay. I'll just keep going. I'm not going to stop. No's do not stop me, including the women who tell me no. Don't get me started. If you tell me no and you walk away, it's not going to stop me.
Right.
I cannot be stopped. I'm not a perfect guy. Nobody is.
Right.
But I'm saying that I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to roll over for anybody. Anybody telling me no? Anybody telling me maybe? You tell me yes, that's great. I appreciate you.
Right.
And that's what I teach my class. You never stop. And if you do stop, make sure you want to stop for good reason. Don't stop because someone told you no. Don't stop because the industry seems to be closing its door on you, turning their back on you. You keep going. Everybody who is successful has done that. Every single person who's been successful has experienced rejection and lack of money and lack of love, lack of support, lack of everything. Keep going.
Facts.
Yeah.
I love that because that's the energy that most people need. Like, because I put together an event here for creatives and filmmakers and all that. It's called We Don't Wait, We Create, right?
Oh, okay. And what's
North Carolina.
So what city? Y'all both the same city?
Yes,
Yeah, we're in the same. We're in the same.
What city?
We're in Raleigh, in North Carolina.
Raleigh.
Yeah.
Don't judge me. Every time I hear Raleigh, you know what I think about?
What?
The Andy Griffith Show.
Yo, you know what's crazy? It's here. It's not too far from here, right?
It's not. It's really not. Mayberry.
Mayberry. Do you know Maria Howell?
No.
Maria Howell.
You don't know Maria Howell?
So
I don't know. I don't think she's from Raleigh, but she's from another city that's in the area. And I did a podcast, and I interviewed Maria on my podcast, and she's from North Carolina. In fact, she's very good friends with my ex-wife, Latanya. And I know her through Latanya. One of the most talented people you ever have seen in your life. And she's from there. And I did a podcast, and we did a whole segment on Mayberry and Raleigh.
Wow.
because I love the Andy Griffith Show. Remember I told you that, I grew up on TV? One of my shows I watched as a little boy was the Andy Griffith Show and Gomer Pyle. So those are two of my favorites. So when I think about Raleigh, I got a Raleigh background because that's where you go from Mayberry. It's just a stone's throw from Raleigh is Mayberry.
No, it's not that far. It's not.
Nah, it's not that far at all.
Mayberry, right? There's no Mayberry, is it? That's not real, right?
No, it's really real.
No.
No, the city is real.
Mayberry's real.
Yeah. I've been there. It's in a place out here called like Pilot Mountain. It's like a mountain that's out here that's pretty much, a go-to attraction in the area. Yeah, and the small town. No, it's real. The actual town that they shot in it. Well, they built the studio off of the town. The actual town. Yeah, it's there. I've been there. I've been in there. I've seen the town looks like the Andy Griffith set.
Yes.
Exactly like it. The jail, the courthouse, the streets, the stores that was in there, all of that is literally in that town. Exactly like it.
I need to go there. I need to go there.
I definitely.
It sound like when I first moved out to LA, because I lived out there for a little bit, and I was driving down the freeway and I would see where said Fred Sanford and them was what's the avenue?
Watts. They lived in Watts.
It was Watts, but it was they would say it a lot on the show. But I would see it on the sign and it was so hilarious, and the first thing I did was when I went there, I went to Watts. I had a friend to take me to Watts. And he was like, out of all the places you could go in LA, you want to go to Watts.
Yeah, why?
No.
Because of Fred Sanford
and they that stuff be real, man. That inspiration that people draw from it be real, and I think our stories are still underrated when being told. Right, we have a certain version of our stories that's being told. You know, the street stories that's being told a lot. And you know, of course, the relationship stories, but those type of things, very seldom we get those green lights on those type of projects. So, you know, I love it. Like I love that whole Rudy Ray Moore, Eddie Murphy's version of
Yeah,
Dolomite,
right.
Because it made you appreciate the fact that when you watch Dolomite movies and you saw that the boom mic was in the way, or sometimes you saw that the line producer was in the shot and he had to back up and they couldn't, you know, all of these different things. Or whenever you could see, like whenever he had a sex scene and the bed was shaking, you could see somebody down there shaking the bed. Like all of these different things that incorporated what made him great was the fact that he did it, and he did it at a level where even the mistakes were good. And in the sense of how, you know, everything is about perfection now. So let me ask you this. So Carl, like, how, do you, outside of your coaching, is there like a mentor program that you do as well for those actors who may be struggling with the fact that you see their talent, but they still need to figure out their lifestyle mentally so they could focus in? Or is there a coaching aspect to your business is what I'm asking?
Actually, there is. I mean, just by the virtue of what I do, I make myself available to all of my actors.
Gotcha.
So they frequently call me. In fact, I'm looking at a text right now from one of my actors. I don't know what she wants, but yeah, you know, just asking me questions. I had a call from an actor yesterday that was lamenting her experiences in Atlanta in the Southeast market, and she's not been able to really secure an agent. And so I had to just kind of talk her off the ledge a little bit. This was yesterday, you know. So I do that a lot. So
gotcha.
I guess that I do mentor, you know, actors, and I enjoy doing that, you know. So
yeah, is there what because I want to know, because for the most part when it comes down to projects, right? How important is it for an actor to become SAG?
how important is it?
Yeah, like in the sense of things, because what I noticed
Well,
is that
it's not. Well, it's important if you want to reach a certain level, but it is not a reason to be discouraged if you're not. There's lots of non-union projects that you can do and should do while you know, pursue that SAG situation. I have friends, younger friends, who are not SAG and do it quite well. There's a lot of non-union work out there, and you know, SAG is great and necessary and all that, but it doesn't have to stop you. As a matter of fact, I'm behind my SAG dues.
Gotcha. So if a person goes SAG though, they can only do union-based projects, or is that a myth? Because, you know, I noticed that there's a lot of really well-known actors that are in a lot of independent films, and I don't know, you know, if
Well,
they have
these
to get
independent films
permission.
probably are union films. They just because they're independent doesn't mean they're not union. They could be
Gotcha.
union and be SAG, and you know, they could be union and be independent. But you know, there are ways around it. There are ways that you can do, you know, non-union projects through SAG, but I don't recommend it. You know, let me stop talking on camera about that.
Right. Yeah, because I
Giving out
noticed
bad
that.
advice.
Yeah. Because, you know, a lot of the actors, I've noticed they have that dilemma where they're battling between whether they want to go full SAG or not, because you know, they get a lot of non-union work.
I have a friend right now, extraordinary actor, just extraordinary, very talented. She works a lot. Beautiful woman. And she did that. She is gorgeous. She is not SAG. She works all the time. Lifetime movies over here. She got a series right now on I think it's a YouTube series, but it's a series. And she's
Yeah.
like over in Morocco or someplace shooting, or she was.
Mm-hmm.
She's not union. And I asked her about it. She says, "Why should I pay $3,000? I'll wait until the time comes. I have a job, or they come and get me. They tap Hartley, which is when you allow an actor who's not in the union can come in. They get permission from the union, and then they pay the dues, right? And when that happens, usually the production will pay the dues. But it's a lot of money. When I joined SAG in 1991, a long time ago.
Mhm.
It was $600. Now it's $3,000.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
So why would an actor who has no money barely to eat pay a union $3,000? So
Gotcha.
So what do? Do you now not do it anymore? Do you quit? You know, I just told you earlier, nothing stops you. So you go around that and you do non-union projects that end up on Tubi or wherever they end up, but you're getting the experience you need and you're meeting people. And then when the time comes, you will join the union. And I'm not this. The union is definitely necessary if you want to go farther in the business. You can't go real far in the business without being in the union. That's true. But you can still start and create and build your relationships and build your credits,
Yeah. Just put in the work.
Mhm.
And that still puts people in a position of I think it's the whole audition game, right? It's so much different now
Right.
because most things are taped. And I noticed that a lot of actors don't feel like, even though when they don't get chosen, I think they feel like it's because they had to tape their audition and it's not in person.
Mhm.
And but that's just the nature of the game now. Like, that's what they doing. You got to tape in, you got to send in.
Right.
And I think that's the most discouraging part for most actors is that part, is waiting on that validation or waiting on that yes. And that's the part that I think I've noticed with talking to a lot of actors that, put them in a position where they either quit or, like you said, they kept going, or they packed up and moved to another market that they figure was going to really feed them in their journey. How often do you deal with that? Do you deal with a lot of people who come to you with that particular type of energy, saying, they just having that whole struggle mentally with understanding that? Because we talked about rejection.
Mhm.
That's in life, period, not just in
Yes,
acting. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to deal with that emotionally. Be able to understand that everybody's not going to tell you yes. It's just waiting on that when you have bills and you have responsibilities and you're really putting in the effort to get a yes. That's the most discouraging part about
In
the
some
hustle.
ways, I think that even though there's more like TV channels and platforms and stuff and more content that's being created than
Right.
it was when I was coming up. When I was coming up, we had 3-4 network stations, and you had studio films. There weren't a lot of independent films back then. I just feel that it's harder to get into business now. In some ways, it's easier to create your own projects now, though.
Yeah.
So if you keep getting told no, and this is a central theme of my class, you create your own yes. I've got a young actor in my class. He's been acting like a year and a half. This guy is fairly 2 years maybe. This guy comes in, just brilliant. He made his own short film, and it's good. And he gives me credit for inspiring him to make his own film. And now I don't think he has an agent. I don't think that he's even looking for an agent. He's doing the second film next month. Oh, this month he's doing it. This May he's doing another second film this month, and I'm acting in it. I'm going to act in this movie.
Wow.
I want to support him. It's so this is no excuses for not doing something. You look at no disrespect to Country Wayne, but do something like that. You got a freaking cell phone. You just moving it back and forth. You ain't got no lights and nothing. Just telling a simple story. Do something.
Yeah. Right.
Nah, you're right.
The no is part. Look, you get no in life all the time.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
that means nothing to me. Nothing.
Mm.
Well, what do you want to accomplish in this arena, Carl? I mean, really want out of this arena that you're in?
Oh wow. Um I want to produce quality content. I want to be a part of, and then not always acting,
Right.
producing. I want to be a part of projects that I believe in. Many of them are redemptive themes. I enjoy that as a Christian,
Hmm.
um, but not all. I mean, you know, I want to do projects that I would want to see.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not a prudish creator. Some people are like, very prudish, like it needs to be a certain thing and it needs to
Mhm.
be elegant and all that. No, I am an audience producer. I want when people see the things that I'm doing, they are going to learn, but they're going to be very entertained
Right.
because I'm an entertainer, really.
Right.
Break it down, right? So I want people to be entertained. Even the project that I did a couple of days ago, the short films and the improv, I felt people were entertained. I don't
Right.
want people to be bored either.
Right.
So when I created this show and created the event timeline about what was going to happen, I'm thinking about, okay, are they going to be bored? No, please, Lord. I want them to be bored. I want them to enjoy themselves and leave wanting more.
Right.
Right.
So that's also true for movies that I'm doing, that I'm involved in.
You know what? I watch a lot of African movies,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why I do is because they at the end of the movie, there's a lesson or there's a message
Right.
behind what for someone to learn or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And that's what I enjoy the most about watching them, because a lot of times over here in America, in my opinion, we make a lot of trash.
Right.
A lot of stuff that just doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
And you just get tired of watching it,
Right.
all the time. And so, and I think that they do a really good job of bringing a lesson or a message
Mm-hmm.
out of their movies. I actually think they're really great actors too as well. But I
Right.
really enjoy watching their movies because of that. You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
a lot of trash and stuff that pops up in their content, in their
Right.
movie and stuff like that. And I enjoy it.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I think creatively too, uh, people, especially in Africa and other places, they take that whole "we don't wait, we create" mentality too, because they know that the outlets are not there for them. Over here, people. It's one of them things about those stories too, Gloria, because you're right. It's just that over here we have these things called gatekeepers, right? The people who seem to only want certain things portrayed and certain images of us being seen, and they get those projects through more than the ones that have a message or a meaning but be entertaining at the same time. That's why I choose to do comedy, right? Because you can get your message through in a comedy, whereas a person will not take it as serious if you come off like you're trying to be serious, right? You can still get those messages off, because I like how, you know, um, earlier movies like the Wayans brothers, like I would say, like Keenan and them, like their generation of movies. They always did a movie that had some type of message in their movie, but it was comedy. The whole thing
Yeah,
was funny,
it was really
but
good.
they were talking about it. Even with Blank Man, if you kind of think about it, he was talking about a superhero that had special needs, a special
Right.
needs superhero.
Right.
How often do you see people telling special needs people, children, whatever, how super they are, how special they are, to make them feel as just as normal as other kids because of how they have to go through life, right? They have the Special Olympics and all these other things. And I remember volunteering one year and just seeing how many people just motivated
Right.
all the people with special needs, and it made them feel like, and they when they did an event or did something, I mean, they felt like they was just a super. I mean, just the joy coming from them. I was amazed. I was just standing there like I had on a little shirt. I'm part of the staff as a volunteer. I'm just watching, and I was amazed at how much they felt empowered.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because people made them feel some type of way. And then when you watch Blank Man, then you kind of can put the correlation of what he was trying to portray. And it's like, dag, I remember. And Robert Townsend, even when he did that Media Man, like helping us to understand that the origins of the stories of superheroes come from our story. It's just so much that people look as entertaining. They don't get the deeper meaning so much because they're too busy looking to be entertained.
Right.
What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that's the case? Because I think Get Out got so many bad reviews, but I think the message was amazing.
Well, my personal opinion about that is, when you put a project out there, you aren't responsible for how it's received.
That's exactly what Michael said. I watched his movie. He said the same thing about his music. You're right.
Yeah. Right. You put out your art and you may have a lesson that you want people to learn from it, but ultimately you are not responsible. And then the other thing about it is that you can have an audience. Let's say you have 100 people in the audience. There are 100 different personalities, 100 different backgrounds, 100 different upbringings. That's too much work to be trying to figure out, okay, how they take in. I mean, people, it's nice when people recognize what you've done, or maybe they say something back to you that you may have intended that they say that they got. It's even more fun when people tell you things they saw that you did not intend. Because that's how people see things, is based upon their
perception.
Yeah. So, I like for people to enjoy what I'm doing, but sometimes I don't know why.
I get it.
Yeah. So,
but so that's another thing too. You hit the nail on the head with that, and I hope a lot of people that take your class and people who come from who will watch this will get that. If they don't get nothing else, is you have to motivate yourself.
Yeah, you do.
As much as you would like the accolades and everything to come from the people outside of you or around you, or even your close family, or even in the relationships that you may bear, it's no one that's going to push you like you. And I think, people misconstrue that with selfishness. I mean, selfishness is a real thing, but self-belief, it's not the same to me. I think that's where the correlation is separate, because you'll have people who, in situations will pursue our visions, the people outside of us will say, all you think about. But they don't understand how much you try to turn off. Like, they don't get what a visionary really is, because if you could really do everything that come in your head, these people really won't know. They really would dislike you. Like, I'm only doing the things that's in front of me. If you knew what was going on in my head, you would leave me alone right now. Like, you would not even, if I had the means of doing the things that come to my head. Are you crazy? So that's the thing that turns people into I'm gonna give up things. So if you personally, Carl, if a person needed any type of motivation outside of that, I mean, short and sweet, what would you say to a person who is dealing with that? The people around them, they so-called support system, their family, the people who they love the most, when they don't support them enough and they feel like they want to give up because the people around them doesn't believe in them.
Oh, I know what you mean. Okay, this is a tall order, but this is what I would say to them. Be the leader in your own life. You don't follow anybody but God. So if you have people in your circle who aren't supporting you, you need to shed them. You need to recognize, and it doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be disrespectful. Just kind of alter your circle. And when I say be the leader of your own life, that means that you know what you're doing and what you're called to do. And, we're all kind of feeling it out. It's not always perfect. You hit bumps, you may have to shift and pivot, but it certainly isn't because somebody around you is trying to throw you off your game.
Yeah.
You're the leader in your own life. So those people should be following you.
True.
Follow no man but God. And God is
True
not a
that.
man. But I'm saying
I agree.
that's how I do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I get criticized sometimes. And I don't care. Okay. That's your point of view. Take it and walk away with it and walk toward me. I don't care. It's not going to, like I said earlier, people always got something to say. And then when you actually do what you say you're going to do, those same people, oh, I knew you all the time, boy. I tell you, boy, Carl Gilliard, boy. I tell you, boy, I knew that, boy. I knew it.
See, yep.
They ain't know nothing. Oh,
Yep.
oh, man, thanks so much. You be gracious.
Yes.
You don't say, oh, hey, I remember you said what you said to me. Now look at me. No,
Yeah.
I just wink. Thank you.
That's true. Yeah.
How you do it.
Yep. Thank you.
Nah, I mean, that's important because there are going to be a lot of actors or people aspiring that's going to watch us in this conversation. And those are the things that they're dealing with the most, you know.
Yeah.
It's never their gift that they really, that's hard on them. It's the expression of their gift that gets people in a space where, because some people have taken their lives. Like, you know, we think about some people who get to express themselves and we feel like they have it all, and then they take their own life. We talk about Robin Williams a lot. Like,
oh yeah,
this guy,
Robin Williams. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he seemed to be the top of whatever he was doing and had it all, but still at some point he wasn't happy. We tend to find that out too. Whenever I watch the Michael Jackson movie, is that he didn't, it wasn't that he wasn't loved. He was loved by millions of people he didn't know. But the thing that bothered him the most was the people that he wanted to love him didn't.
That's true.
You know, so that's what caused him to be in the insecurities and the altering himself and the things that he did, because he wanted to please the people that he loved, not so much the people that loved him.
Right.
And I think that's the saddest part about his story, is that people keep looking and judging him for what he did, but they don't understand the math or the science behind why. It's because there are people in this world who we can go through and have everything in the world. We can have all the people outside love us and admire us, but it's these particular things that we love. We wanted to love us the same way, right? And when you're a creative, and especially when you're a creative, because you see things from a whole nother lens, you know, things are getting dropped into you that you are not expecting. It's not a thing that you ask for. It's a thing that you are, and you can't express that to other people. You can't explain it to them because it's not for them.
Right.
But I did notice that about his story. Same thing with Prince. I noticed that their story all came from the people that they loved didn't love them the way that they wanted to.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why what you said is going to be very important, about you saying to people, hey, listen, you have to be the leader in your own life. We understand that you love these people, but you have to love you, and not be afraid to love you.
I
Because
find
that's
when you're the leader in your own life, somehow people tend to catch on. It may not be in the time that you liked it to be. You may have to go through some things. You know, in my life, I'm thinking of one person right now in particular who I will not name, but this person doesn't talk to me anymore. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what her deal is. I know she'll be back.
Okay.
I know she'll be back because it's so ridiculous. You know, whatever she was needing from me that she didn't get, I don't even know what it is. So why am I going to carry that?
Exactly.
I reached out a couple of times. I called her, left her a couple of messages.
Yes.
Didn't pick them up. She didn't return the call. I'm done. And I'll go in there tonight. Time to go to bed. Watch me a little YouTube. Go to sleep. Make with some eggs. You think I care? I mean, I care, but again, I'm not gonna fold to something that I have no control over.
Exactly.
So it's like, and then you know, the people closest to you are the ones that will sometimes disappoint you, but that's the whole part of life.
That's most of the time.
Yeah, when you want love in your life, you want close relationships. And this is why some people don't have the close relationships, and I think they're robbing themselves. Because when this is my opinion, because you can't mature, you can't have communion and build community without risking being hurt by somebody. That's gonna happen.
That's true.
But you can't stop, even in that area. It's necessary. That's what we're here to have community, not to be by ourselves.
Facts.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to be by myself, believe me. I get teased by that, by the way. You're a relationship person. You just can't be by yourself. I say, yeah, no, you can't be with people.
Yeah.
See, you on the other side.
I mean, I'm not at all offended. They try to, you just can't be like this. I'm like, okay, you're right. Next point.
Right.
Right.
And when you know yourself,
can't be by yourself. I'm like, I was talking to, I'm sorry, I'm on a tear right now. I was on the phone coming home and I was talking about that. And it feels like in this day and age, in this enlightened time, which we really aren't, we're social media experts, that people wear being alone as a badge of honor. I can be by myself for 6 years and see my badge like remember when Boy Scouts you get a badge of honor for the nature walk. It's like today the people are now like giving themselves badges for being alone. I'm like, what is that about? Oh, I can be by myself for 6 years. See?
I say the same thing, yeah.
Hey, Carl, it's so funny.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it's funny because even the Bible says it's not good that man should be alone.
Yeah.
Right there, Genesis 2. I'm like, okay, you can't be by yourself. I'm like, yeah, and as if that's sort of like a negative. It's not a negative. We are built for community and communion.
Exactly.
Say it again.
And that's I don't understand it. And I really don't understand people being dogmatic about it. Now, if you want to be by yourself, good. Do it because that's your life. But why do you need to make me out to be somebody who is some way insecure, which is far from what I am actually?
Yes.
So it's just interesting. But
it's interesting because that's what people do. That's the whole thing about fear. Like people like to project. Mm-hmm. So one thing they'll do, they'll project what they feel onto you because they don't want to deal with the facts of the matter, right? They know that some people say, "Oh, I've been alone," because I see that it's mostly women. Like men don't necessarily.
Oh, you said it. I didn't want to say that.
I mean,
I'm gonna say that.
I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I don't really see much men out here talking about, that's a woman thing, right? They love to say that, oh, I've been without for this many years and all that other stuff.
Like it's a badge of honor.
Yeah, because they count it as the physical part. Because I feel like women still haven't learned men enough. I think they think because of the sexual nature of man that is the glue or the connector to man, and it's not. Like they'll never be. I don't know. This is my opinion. I guess I could just speak for me.
Speak for me too, Rob. Speak for me too. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like they'll never be. They'll never be.
I'm listening.
No. I'm just saying, like they'll never be like a woman's sexual prowess or her sexuality or what makes the sex in the sense of what it is will never be able to keep a man with a vision. It'll never be that. It will take more than that. And then for certain men that recognize where they are and their ability to be who they are and understanding where they come from, the sex part it's accessible. It's not something that a person is really out here searching for when it comes to the companion, when it comes from men and women. So in the sense of being alone, yeah, women can say that because of the access to sex. And that could be a thing when she says she could be alone. But for us as men, like I don't really know where in life where we would want to be alone. Like there's nothing in me that makes me even think about it in the sense of saying like, yo, I just want to be by myself. Now, do I have times where I need to be, in those moments? Yes. Do I sit in my car at times and I just, catch me a vibe? Yes. Do I go outside? I do all these things to catch a vibe. I'm not gonna lie. Like to have my peace of mind or to catch my vision or the ground and do all this stuff with nature. That's the thing. But to live through life saying I'm okay with going a year talking about I'm alone. What? That don't even sound right. Like I feel like it's like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like something is wrong. Like I really think like life would be wrong for me to be able to walk around and have that badge of honor. But I notice a lot of women are able to do that, and I think it's just based on sex
but it's also based on pain.
Yes.
So and disappointment, and we all have that. And let me say this. God gave me the perfect analogy, and I've been using it a lot. When women tell me this, you need to be by because I'm going through this divorce now. You should be by yourself for 6 years. I'm like, what? You crazy. Anyway, so women are like cats. They're felines. You know how cats are, right? They're kind of sitting in the corner by themselves, all curled up. And then when they get ready to have some company, they walk over to you and they kind of rub against you a little bit, and then they purr. Right? Men are canine. We like relationship. We like to be petted. We like to be up under somebody. We like to be with, interacting.
Exactly.
Even with a dog, dogs like being around either other dogs or people.
Mm-hmm.
We like people. I know I do. I love people, and I love female I love feminine energy around.
Facts. Yes.
So if one leaves, I got to replace it. It's nothing personal.
Nah.
I would rather you not leave, but since you left, I have to replace you.
Yeah.
And women don't understand that. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, because you should be by yourself for at least 6 months. Okay, I am by myself. Yeah. I'm by myself every single day. I come in this house and by myself. But I have to replace you.
I mean,
I do stuff good. I do very well by myself. That's not the point.
Yes.
So, and to the point that you're making earlier, since Rod started this, I'll just say one more thing about it. It's okay if you want to be by yourself.
Right. Yes.
But, why do I have to be like you? Do I have to be like you?
Exactly.
That's my only point.
And I think it's a lot of that because emotionally, I think people want to hold more weight in another person's lives than they really do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people get off on that being that person in a person's life that they feel like is the most important. And I think when it comes to people who are creative or visionaries and stuff like that, that's the baddest rap that they get is that they are just like nobody else matters to them.
Right.
And I think that's what makes it wrong. I mean, I think creatives, they love, but they want to be. I think that's to your point. Like if a person leaves, why would you expect the person that you left to stay alone because you left? Like that's why I think when it comes down to like acting and stuff like that, or anything that you're doing in life that you can get a rejection from, like you love to do it, but you can get a rejection from it. I'm sorry. Some people love to eat, but they eat the wrong thing. They're going to be in somebody's bathroom somewhere, right? I mean, you're going to, whatever your thing is that you love, you're going to get a rejection from it.
Right.
At some point. And so if people could understand that part, I think they could deal with a lot more things that come into their life. But as long as people look at life as everything is supposed to be, oh, you my brother or my sister, you're supposed to act like this, or you my husband or wife, you're supposed to, my mother and father, you're supposed to, my best friend, whatever people put that in their perspective, because that's, again, going back to Michael Jackson, that's why he could not deal with the fact that because he felt like they were supposed to. Mm-hmm. All these other people, these other people that love me, they don't even know me. They just love me because I can sing and dance. But you are supposed to. Why are you not?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure this out. And I think that's the energy too. That's the catch-22. You got the energy, like you said, Carl, where you tell me no, I'm gonna keep going.
Right.
And then you got those people who you tell them no, they keep going to find out why you said no.
Right. Oh, that what you said there is deep. I get to slow down the show a little bit on that one. Because I don't know where I saw this. And maybe it was on one of these Instagram videos, one of these gurus talking about humanity and whatnot. And they drove that point home. But here's the other piece that I think that even further illustrates your point, Rob. We can go to a room. There could be 100 people in that room. 100 people in that room. And 99 of them 100 people love our snaggy draws. Just anything we say, they'll do. 99. That one, though, that's pushing back on you, that's rejecting you, it's in our nature to chase after that one. Chase after that one person. There'll be 99 people who dig us, the one who doesn't. And I don't know where I saw this coming back to me. It was one of these videos that's on Instagram. And he even went out to say, we chase after people who we don't even care about just because we want to be accepted. That's what he said. So that one person that we're chasing after that doesn't even care about, we don't even care about them. It's just the fact that we're feeling rejected by them that we want to get their acceptance.
Right.
We just are put off by the fact that they don't like us. And we have to find out why. You just said that. And that is something that is from the pit. Whenever I feel myself doing that, because I have an impulse to do that.
Right.
And I catch it though, because I'm older now.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I did it all the time. I remember when I was single, and I would always chase after women who I knew didn't want me to find out why. Like I'm selling them on something. Like I'm selling them a car or something. Like, no, I am the, you know what? You need to be with me, baby, because I have this. I am that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was never going to buy it.
Right.
One of the things I've learned now that I'm now back dating, this is one thing I don't do. It's very simple. It's a very simple rule. I do not pursue women who are not interested in me.
Facts.
I don't care who she is. I don't care what she looks like. I don't care nothing about it. I do not pursue women who are not interested in me. If they're interested in me, then I will court. I will certainly pursue. No problem.
Right.
But if she's not interested, I'm not going to be doing Perry Mason and giving a case-by-case reason why you should be interested in me. I don't do that. That's not that's another dude. You go to that guy, he will chase you around. He will beg you. He will state his case. He will sell you on all the benefits of being with him. Mm-hmm. I don't do anything other than show up.
Exactly.
I show up and I'm who I am, and I can make you laugh and we can have a good time. I'm a great conversationalist and I'm fun to be around for real. But am I going to chase you? That's like an extension of that 99-1.
Exactly.
You know dudes, I know you know some dudes that can walk into 100 women in the room. They're all fine, two beautiful women. 99 love them. And that one woman, he got to chase her down.
Oh, you want to argue with her? Yo, what you mean? What you mean you don't like my outfit? What you talking about? You don't see this outfit? I got on this. I got on that. I'm like, yo, fam, we alone. Like, fam, let's go, bro. Like, don't you ain't got. Why you doing that, yo? That looks crazy. Like, I've had to do that a bunch of times. Like, yo, what you mean? Like, no, fam, come on, man, let's go, man. We're not doing that. I'm not sitting up here. You causing a scene at the bar because she don't want you to buy her a drink. She don't want you to buy a drink, bro. Leave her alone. Like, it's okay.
She's okay.
Like, I had to do that many a times with people because, like I said, that's the duality about life in general. Right. People, that's the difference in whether a person is going to keep going or if they're going to fall off. And the people who fall off always chase the no. Why are you telling me no? What is it about me? What do I need to do? It's like, no, that's not it. You got to understand that people are here. There are chapters in your life.
Right.
We all got a story, but there are chapters, unfortunately, there are people in your life who are only going to be in the chapter. I get it. I get it. They're your brother. They're your sister. I get it. They're your aunt. I get it. Still, technically, they still may only be in chapters of your life, and you got to be willing to be okay with that. You can't chase the no. Most of the time in relationships, people, when it come down to that, that's what gets their feelings hurt because they're too busy trying to find out why somebody don't instead of being around the people who do. Yep. This is why we say you got to be around like-minded people. Sometimes it causes trauma bonding, though. So it's like a balance. You got to balance because, sometimes the like-minded person is because both of y'all have suffered through some type of trauma, not because both of y'all are gifted.
Okay, I'm not going to challenge that, but I'm going to pivot on that because, someone mentioned trauma bonding to me regarding my ex and I. So I'm being a little transparent here. Now, here's my thing. This is my thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't think that it matters why you bond.
Okay.
What attracted you to someone.
Right.
Because all things work together. Okay. Romans 8:28. All things work together. Okay. All things. They can even be negative. Okay. Unless you're a crazy serial killer and then you get in a relationship and y'all just drive each other crazy and kill each other. Which
right.
But I'm saying, but that's not generally true. Sometimes the loss of something, whether it be trauma through a death in the family, trauma through a past relationship or whatever, trauma from whatever, you're drawn to somebody, you get together and you actually love that person, even though you were brought together by something that may not be healthy. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm saying that when you agree to be with someone and you love them, now we're into the whole act. Love is a verb, it's an action thing. It's you're going to activate love and you're going to do that. You're going to be kind. You're going to be loved. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 13. You're going to be that, and that's a decision you made once you get into that decision,
that situation. Mm-hmm.
And I think that you can actually heal each other. You actually get, because that's God's design for relationships. I know it's crazy. It's more 1927 than 2026. I should have been born in the 20s because I just have a different view on all these things. Because just because something bad has happened to you doesn't mean that it's something that doesn't mean that bad thing has to continue and you can't be healed from it through something else that God ordained for you to be involved in.
Right.
So I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm simply saying that there are people who will say, okay, we trauma bonded, so that's a reason to quit.
Right.
It isn't necessarily a reason to quit unless you guys are killing each other.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I guess.
I agree because it's perspective, right? Everybody has a perspective, and you gotta respect people's perspective regardless. Because at the end of the day, you're right. Trauma bonding could be a good and a bad thing for a person. It just depends on whether both people want to heal or not. We got people out here who they love the fact that they, whatever they've gone through, they use that as a personality identity now because they've been through this thing, their trauma, now that's part of their identity, and where it really should be a lesson to learn from, to elevate. But it's not always looked at that way, especially now that two people get together and they pacifying each other because they both suffering through the same thing. Now, neither one of y'all gonna get anywhere. Y'all gonna be somewhere to crack together.
There's a level of self-awareness that has to be there.
Yeah, you gotta be wanting,
and then you may need to get counseling, and you have to talk to each other. So now you can't be wearing your trauma as a badge and using it to get stuff. I'm saying that you have to be self-aware and want to heal. That part's important. That part's important.
But that's you're right, because you think about it. How many people I know a lot of people. They go to the hospital. They got videos of them in the hospital bed with. Like, why is that what you want to show? Like, why are you showing that? It's like they it's like you're in there with tubes and stuff. You up here like,
I got the phone up.
Yeah, talking about
the selfie.
It'll be like 3 weeks before I get out of here. Why do you? What is?
I be saying the same thing. I be thinking the same thing. Why do you want somebody to see you like that? you know,
So that's why I'm saying the trauma bonding thing is is very scary, because that's the attitude of people who are in that space, because they've gone through something. They want everybody, oh my God, come feel sorry for me. It's like, but no, nobody wants to see you in a hospital. Like, nobody wants to see that. Do you not think that somebody that they really love, the last visual of them may have been in a hospital? Like, we don't ever think about these things whenever people are looking for attention or for validation, or, and that's a lot of times that come with it. I know this take a completely turn off of what we originally was here to talk about. My bad.
I didn't have that. I have that effect on people. I'm sorry.
It happens all the time, bro. That's why I call it Spark-N-Conversation.
But can I add something to that too about this trauma thing?
Yeah.
This is what when you go through something like a life change like what I'm going through right now, I take a lot of examination of myself, and I do spend a lot of time by myself, for real. Versus what I said earlier. I spend a lot of time by myself in prayer, a lot of time self-examining, going over what I could have done. I've done all of that stuff, and the one thing I've come away from regarding trauma, my own theory, I think we call it baggage, but I think it's interchangeable with trauma. True. So I believe that in marriage and any sort of deep, committed relationship like that, it's really a mirror. That's one thing. And in marriage in particular, because of the covenant nature of it, your spouse will trigger your trauma. But the problem, though, is that a lot of people don't know what's their trauma. They think it's a spouse. So you can guarantee when you marry somebody that whatever trauma you got is unresolved, eventually, sooner or later,
they're going to trigger it.
Will trigger that trauma. The mistake happens when you think it's your spouse and not your trauma. You're actually there to heal each other.
It's a movie. We just gave up a script right now.
That's what I learned. And that is absolutely true.
No, that's a fact.
It's absolutely
that's a fact.
People don't know it. The people who know it are the people who stay married. The ones who don't stay married don't know it. They think it's a spouse. It's not.
Yeah. I think the opposite of that, though, is if your spouse know your trauma. Because, see, that's where a lot of it gets misconstrued, too. Because if you tell people what you've been through, your deepest things that bothered you and stuff like that, whenever you go through a moment, they bring it up. Oh, that's why you're like this, because of that.
Exactly.
So,
that's awful.
So that's why very few people don't know. That's the reason why they don't know it's not their trauma, that they think it's their spouse, because they told their spouse their trauma. And then their spouse brought up the trauma whenever the person was going through, versus knowing that about them, understanding that, and knowing what to pray for. No, people want a defense mechanism to take it off of themselves, so they'll use your trauma against you to diagnose you or to say this is what you are, why you are like you are, but not knowing that you told them that in a sense of trying to help heal, so the person to know who they're dealing with. But it's not that. So I think that's where that whole part that you're saying gets a little misconstrued. That's why you have people who go into relationships and you don't know nothing until it actually happens. You could be with somebody 5-10 years, and then when that one thing happens, next thing you know, oh my God, I didn't even know this was you. Like, where's this person come from? Yeah. You mean this is what made you act like this? Hold on for a second. You mean to tell me we've been through everything else? We done been through hurricanes. We done been through people. We done been through all these other things. And now you telling me because you missed a couple of car payments that you about to kill yourself?
Exactly.
What happened when you was younger with your car? Like what? So that's the type of stuff that I'm saying. You don't know until you get into that. Or especially for men. Men got to be careful too, because you could be the provider the whole time and take a chance. A chance don't pan out. Now the other person has to step up. Now you're no longer that. So that's why I say in this whole game of being, you said the whole thing, you said it earlier, Carl, and I think that's the most important part out of everything we said, although it's simple, is that you have to be the leader in your own life.
Right, exactly.
That's what it boils down to, because you'll never be able to counsel your way through every relationship that comes through your life. Exactly. There's no way. You don't wait. So you got to be the leader in your own life. And I think that's the most important takeaway that I think a lot of people should take from our conversation, because no matter what scenario we bring up, the end result is that you have to take responsibility for you.
Yes. Yep. Very important.
All right. So look, let's do this real quick before we get out of here. What do you want the people to know about any upcoming projects you have going on, any appearances you have, or anything just regarding what you have coming up and you want the people to know? What is that?
Oh, wow. Okay. So the big thing is my acting class is going to a 6-week cohort situation, and then the next one is on May 20th, 6 weeks, and we're currently enrolling that. I have several films coming out. They're all like independents. I'm involved with an outlet or a platform called Jaro Go. You should go to Jaro Go, y'all. It's a platform. It's a free app. It's like social media, but also has content on it, and it has games on it and podcasts on there. I have a movie coming out on there called Two Preachers on a Mission. That's hilarious. Two Preachers on a Mission. So go to Jaro Go. Check out Black Famous, my series. You see it there on my name there. Black Famous is my series that I shot 2 seasons of, and it's on Jaro Go. I have a film called Christmas Conversation that's going to be coming out. December Conversation that may change. Tangi Miller's film, and I have another film with her as well called it's called The Handyman, and that's already been in the festival circuit. Let me see what else. Oh, I think that's it. But I know there's something else I'm forgetting.
Gotcha.
But I'm, I'm developing things with our studio in Decatur. That's where my class is being held. But there's also some things we're doing with them that I'm very excited about. So,
yeah, that's amazing, man. Yeah, you staying. You got the fire lit. That's a fact. Yeah, man. Well, look, I just hope the students really appreciate you, man, in everything that you do, because just this one short conversation today lets me know that not only are you a man with vision, but you've been through some things, and you don't mind letting the person know what I'm not saying in detail, but to help them navigate that. I don't hear that much coming from people who coach. Right, not acting at least. Most people you come take their class, you can pick up what you got to pick up, and you go home. They don't do all that, right? Because I'm surrounded by them, because that's what we do. We film skits and short films and all that other stuff. I'm surrounded. Yeah. That's my main thing. That's what I love to do. Music was first, right? I've done music toured and do all that other stuff, but now I just technically use music for like movie soundtracks and stuff like that. I still record, but now that's what I do. That's my creative space. That's my outlet. It's all comedy. I do a bunch of skits, short films. And I just did a series this weekend called Trapped in the Living Room. I played off of being trapped in the closet, where everybody comes and wound up in my living room looking for somebody else, and so it's just a bunch of different things. So I'm around these creatives all the time, and that's what I'm noticing. That's the thing that they're dealing with. It's not so much whether they think that they can make it or not. They don't think that they're supposed to.
Okay.
Right? Because Tommy Morgan Jr. was on here, and he was saying it's called imposter syndrome.
Oh, that's what it's called. That is what it's called.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people suffer from that, not because how he did. He felt it because he don't feel like he earned it. Other people feel like they're not supposed to have it because of where they're from, their circumstances, their age, their height, the way they look. Whatever those things are, that's the reason why they feel like they can't do it.
Wow.
And that's the thing that I find myself having to tell people, yo, bro, yo, do you believe in you? Because if you don't, that's the only way you're gonna make it there, fam. I could believe in you all day, but if after I yell cut and we say peace out, you go back home and now you still sleeping under your kitchen sink, I can't help you with that, bro. All I could tell you is that, yo, I see this thing in you, I believe in you, and if you keep showing up, it'll work out. That's the best I could say to people. But for the most part, what you're doing for actors is that you actually help them hone in their crafts. That's why I hope they appreciate you, bro, because it's not a lot of people like you in that particular space, man.
I appreciate you. Right. Thank you so much. I love people. I love actors, and I love people. I really do. I love people, and I love talking to actors because I've, been in it a long time, and I pray that I'll do bigger things in the future. But if nothing else, I like to share my experiences with them, and I think that they benefit from that, and that makes me feel good.
Facts. That's dope. Well, look, man, I'm so thankful for you coming on the platform. Gloria, you already know I could, this part wouldn't happen without you. I'm so appreciative of you. I say that on every show. I make sure I get it on camera. I don't just tell you in the background, because that's another thing too. When it comes down to men and women, especially Black men and women, the relationship between us and these things, it's just weird to me how we are put against each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
In so many different ways.
That. We can start here and we can stop that. And I know that's my goal is to just stop that, so.
Yeah, definitely. So before we go, Gloria, you got anything you want the people to know?
No, I'm just so excited that Carl came on the platform today, bringing his wisdom and knowledge.
And foolery, but it was fun.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, man, this was great, man. So for all of y'all that's going to watch, everybody's watching the playback, thank y'all so much. Y'all know what we doing. We don't wait, we create. It's coming August 22nd. Be on the lookout. We got actor Vincent M. Ward from The Walking Dead as a special guest.
You got Vincent on? He coming on?
Yeah, he coming to Raleigh. No, he gonna be here in person. I already had him on the platform.
I know Vincent.
He's coming here in person.
I'm in his latest movie.
The stepdaddy? No, not stepdaddy.
Stepdaddy. I should have mentioned that.
Yeah,
that movie so long ago, and then he's got the trailers look great.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah,
on the 28th.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna buy my own movie. Well, it's his movie.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It's on Prime. It's on Demand. It's on it's a few other platforms I saw. But yeah, it just came out. So yeah, he'll be in the building. So for all of y'all know the vibes, man. Be on the lookout for all the information that's coming out. You want to get these tickets. You want to be in the building. I promise y'all. I also got Tyron Hill. He will be in the building. So for all y'all filmmakers, y'all need a story to tell. This young brother was. He was accused of a double murder, a double homicide at 13 years old. He was sentenced to life in prison. He spent 16 years of his life in prison for something he did not do, fully exonerated, right? And now what he's doing is he's fighting the cause for all the people that are incarcerated. He's starting in New Jersey because that's where he was. That's my hometown, so we always got to show love to Jersey. But, and I want a lot of certain stories that need to get out. So I'm hoping all of y'all be in the building, be on the lookout for that. Other than that, there's been a lot of people asking how can they support the platform. But now y'all see up here in the corner, I have a QR code here. If you guys want to help and support the platform, all you got to do is scan that QR code. You can donate whatever you want. There's no minimum or maximum. That's not what it is. I'm just telling the people who ask me how they can support. That's your way right there. All right. But other than that, y'all stay fly out there. And don't forget, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So until the next Convo Corner, peace.